Hello, we are here today with a nice project for you for April, for gardening month, and for the beginning of our warmer weather and wanting to bring the outside in. And we are going to plant and make a terrarium, which a terrarium is a neat little thing. It's a garden under glass, or a mini ecosystem. If you are covering your terrarium, it actually is self-sustaining, especially if you consider, because when you're doing this, you always want to consider that the plants that you're putting in. If you're covering your terrarium, you want tropical plants because it becomes a little mini rainforest. And like I said, it's basically self-sustaining. You don't really have to do much to it. If you're leaving it uncovered, like what we're going to do today, you want to make sure that you use like a cactus or succulent soil, and we're going to be putting some succulents in which don't need much moisture, so we are not going to cover the terrariums that we're going to make today. And in the library we have two great books. We have lots of books on gardening, but two in particular that I want to highlight, and this one is Terrarium, 33 Glass Gardens to Make on Your Own. It has wonderful pictures and instructions and lots of details about what these type of gardens are like and what they require. And then I have Gardening in Miniature pulled out, and I think this is just adorable. And I have a collection of some little things that we're going to put in. I have a little geode and some little totems or little animals, and then some rocks, so that we can make this. You want to create and design a landscape that when you're done, you think, I'd like to live there, or have that in my view. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put in some rock at the bottom for to help with drainage, especially because we are doing succulents. You're going to hear some nice noise here with this rock that we're going to add. Okay, so you're just gonna jiggle that around a little bit. And then the next thing I'm gonna add, I've gone to the pet aisle in the store, and it's where the fish and aquarium stuff is, and it's activated carbon charcoal. And you don't have to do this if you have enough gravel, but I like to do it just to ensure that I don't get a smelly mess at the bottom of my terrarium, and I kind of keep my little ecosystem nice and pure. So I'm just going to put a layer of that, and what ends up happening is this: you get some nice layering, and this is great to do with your kids. They love small worlds and small worlds to view, and so you can kind of do some instruction about soil layers, the layers of our earth, and you can teach them about the water cycle, in particular if you're covering your terrarium. And you can talk about how plants grow and what they need to grow. So it's great for Earth Day. April has Earth Day and Arbor Day, so you can teach your kiddos, or you learn yourself, about our Earth and what the Earth needs and what we need to do to take care of our Earth. Okay, so now I've got the layer of rock, the layer of charcoal, which is going to be our filter and purifier in there, and now we're going to add some dirt. And what I'm using today as far as dirt is a cactus potting mix, and that's just so that I don't get added moisture in the area that I don't need with these succulent plants. I'm adding the cactus potting mix to my glass containers, and I want enough of a layer there so that my plants have enough for the roots to get nourishment and the roots to grow. And you don't want to overplant in there, because you have to have enough soil and nutrients for the number of plants that you're putting in there to grow and thrive. So I'm just going to kind of level this off. I'm going to do, in this container that's beveled, I'm going to add a little bit more higher dirt at the back to give a little bit of a sloping landscape. And that's what you need to think of in these containers, is that you want it to be a little mini landscape. Do you want flat land, or do you want a little bit of a difference in your grade? Okay, and what I've done that's going to help us plant, I've gone over to Bloom's Floral Studio, and she has these wonderful little terrarium tools, and they're just adorable. And tongs help out with reaching, and these are used like after you get everything planted and it's continuing to grow. It's going to allow you to dig. It's going to allow you to brush dirt out of the way, or sand if you're using sand, or little mini pebbles on top, and a rake. So, and kids will just love this. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our plant material, our vegetation. So, and I have a variety of succulents, and you want to think tall, maybe at the back, especially if you've made your landscape higher at the back. So I'm going to put this little tree-like succulent in here. And this is a great way to teach about Arbor Day this month as well. So I'm gonna tuck him down in there. And I'm gonna add some lower plants at the bottom. And succulents are great. Some of these have dirt attached, because what we've done is we've thinned out existing plants that were a little bit root bound and giving them a new environment to grow in. So I'm just gonna use my little shovel and dig a space. This has got quite a bit of dirt. And I'm gonna shove him in there. Make sure that the roots are good and attached. Succulents do not, you can pretty much take, I'm going to show you an example. You can take a leaf like this and just shove it in the ground with no roots on it, and succulents will grow. So I can add this little shape to my pot. Okay, so we've got our plants firmly pushed in, and you can even take a piece like this. See how the little sprigs are coming off at the bottom? You can insert that, and it's got a few little sprigs. You're just going to be a little while before you get some additional foliage on there. So, and now you can take these minerals. You know, you've got a combination of living things, and then you've got some minerals that you can add to your mini ecosystem. I'm going to put this geode in here. A few rocks in the landscape, which in this mini landscape, they're not rocks. They look like boulders, which is fascinating. I'm gonna add a little wolf to this scene. A few rocks. And you can even use moss in it. I've got a crystal there. And I'm gonna switch this brown rock up here so that we get some variation with our wolf that's lightly colored. And so there you have it. You have this wolf going through the desert, your little mini cactus desert. And then this one. So it's a great fun. It gets your fingers in the dirt, and you've got cute little tools to work with if you go and get some. And the next thing you want to do, the very last thing, is these do not need to be immersed in water. Remember, they're succulents, so they do not need much moisture. But I'm just going to wet the dirt a bit with a spray bottle. Give the foliage a little bit of moisture. Again, we aren't covering these, so. And kids will enjoy this because it's like their little mini world is having a rain shower So, thank you for joining us today. Bring the outside in and enjoy gardening month. Thank you. Okay, I just want to give you a quick reminder that your little terrarium tools you can pick up at Bloom's Floral Studio, and she has plenty of succulents if you'd like to come and see what she's got and fill your glass world with beautiful plants. And she's even got terrariums if you're struggling with what kind of container to put it in.